Hello, this is Brad Geddes, the author of Advanced Google AdWords. Along with Simplilearn, we're going to walk you through the fundamentals of AdWords. In this lesson, we will dive deeper into keywords to show you how you can control how close related the search query is to your keyword before your ad can be displayed. This is known as match types. So after completing this lesson, you should be able to identify if an ad will show based upon the search for query. Know the difference between exact, phrase, and broad matched keywords. Determine how negative keywords affect how your ad is displayed. Read a search terms report and then work with the search query data. Now first, let's give an overview of the match types and their overall purpose. So, a big question is, when someone does a search, right, their search query, will it cause your keyword to be triggered in your account, which then makes an ad displayed on a search page? So the search query is what someone types in a search engine. A keyword is what's added to an ad group within your AdWords account. So when the search query matches the keyword, your ad can be displayed. So what the match type does is determine how closely related the search query must be to the keyword in order for your ad to show. Now there's three main match types: exact, phrase, and broad. And we'll walk through the details of each of these. But an ad group can have all these match types in them. You can have multiple match types for the same keyword in your account. So let's look at the details of each match type individually. So first we have exact match keywords. Now exact match keywords only cause an ad to show if the query is the exact same as your keyword. Now you can show for things like misspellings, singulars, plurals, and different stemming options. So let's look at a few examples to determine if a keyword can show for a query. So in this case, you have an exact match keyword, buy plasma TV. So the question is, will your ad show for these various queries? So in our yes column, we have the word buy plasma TV. It's the exact same word, it will show. We have the word buy plasma TVs. It's plural. It's the same word, just happens to be a plural, it will show. And our third example, plasma is misspelled, but it's still buy plasma TV, just a misspelling, your ad can show. And our next example, buying plasma TV. It's the stem of the word buy to buying. It's still plasma TV, your ad could show. Your ad can show up multiples of these conditions that also happen in the same query. So in our last example, buying, it's a stemming, plasma TVs, it's a plural. It's still the same word, just happens to have a stemming and a plural in it. So your ad, your exact match keyword, could show for any of those queries. Now in our no column, buy TV plasma, it's a different word order. You're not going to show because it's not the exact same. Orders matter as well. If we have something like buy 42-inch plasma TV, there's additional words in the middle of the query you're not going to show. And something like LED TV, completely different words, you're not going to show. So the main pro of this match type is you have lots of control. You know what a user typed into a search engine. And it's usually best for your highest converting words to put them in an exact match to really control your bid for that keyword and how you're displaying for it. Now the con of this is it's fewer impressions than other match types because your ad is only displayed when the search query matches your keyword. So our next match type is known as phrase match. Now phrase match keywords only cause an ad to show if the query is contained within your keywords. So you can still show for various word endings like singulars, plurals, misspellings, and so forth. So let's look at some examples to see if an ad can be displayed. If you have the keyword buy plasma TV in phrase match, will your ad show for these queries? So in our yes column, buy plasma TV, it's the same word. You don't have to have words before or after, so you could show. Where to buy plasma TVs. There are keywords in the query. You've got a plural, that's okay. And there's words before the actual keyword buy plasma TV, but the word is in the same order in the query, there can be additional words before or after so the ad could show. In our third example, we have a misspelling. It's still the same keyword, buy plasma TV, the ad could show. We could have multiple conditions, where buy plasma TV. So the words in the actual query, it's a misspelling, it's fine, there's not a problem. The next one, where buy plasma TV 42-inch. Your keywords in the query, there can be words before and after, in both conditions, the keyword, but the keyword is in the query in the same order. Buying plasma TV 42, it's a stemming option. The keyword is still in the query. You're going to show, but just a word afterwards. Again, there can be multiple conditions. Buying plasma TVs 42. It's a stemming. It's a plural. There's a word after, but your main word is in the query in the same order. You could show under all these conditions. Now in our no column, buy TV plasma. The word order was switched. Not going to show now. Buy 42-inch plasma TV. There's additional words in the middle. Your query is buy plasma TV, 42 inches in the middle of your keyword. It is not in the same order in the query. You're right, it's not going to show. And something like LED TV, you're not going to show. It's just a completely different word. So the pro is it's a medium control. It's more control than broad match. It's less than exact match. It has more impressions than exact match because a user can add additional words before or after or both of your keyword within their query. So it's also good for highly converting words to use this one. Now the cons are it's fewer impressions than broad match because the word order matters, and it's not as much control as exact match. So it's sort of a medium control match type. Now our third main match type is known as broad match. With broad match, keywords can show an ad if the query is related to the keyword. So related is a key here because related can mean a lot of different things. So you can show, again, for singulars, plurals, misspellings, and related words. So if we have the keyword buy plasma TV in broad match, the question is, can we show for the query? So something like buy plasma TV, same word, you can show. Buy plasma TVs, it's a plural. You could show as with exact or phrase match. The third one's misspelling. Again, you could show for misspellings or stemmings and plural. Now, something like buy TV plasma. All your words are in the query. The order is different. It doesn't matter with broad match. So something like buy TV plasma as a query, when your keyword's buy plasma TV, you would not show exact or phrase because the word order's flipped. Broad match doesn't care about the word order. It says, are all these words in the query, regardless of order or related base version of that word? So something like buying LED versus plasma TVs. Your words are in the query. There's lots of additional words in the middle. It's okay. All your keywords are in the query in some spot. Now something like buy LED television. You might show for broad match because LED and plasma are related types of products. So that's a tough one to say because sometimes you may show for a word like that, sometimes not. But you can show for completely different types of words in some occasions with broad match as long as they're related to each other. There's something like buy DVD player. That's unrelated. A player and a TV are different objects. So while you wouldn't show for buy DVD player, you might show for buy LED TV for a keyword like buy plasma TV. So the pro is it's a lot of impressions because related can take a lot of things into account. So it can find lots of other queries. It's actually a great match type to start with in many cases because you can see sort of the universe of queries for keywords you don't have. Now the con is it's very little control. And it's usually the lowest converting keywords because you can show for some unrelated items as well. And we'll get to how to control that a little bit later. So we'll get the use cases for each keyword. Exact match is the most control. It has the fewest impressions. It's great for direct response because you know exactly what someone typed in. But it's not a lot of impressions. So phrase match is the middle ground. Your keyword's got to be in the query. It can show for misspellings, plural, so forth. There can be additional words added, but your keyword must be in the query in the same order with phrase match. So it's good for direct response, but a little more impressions. Broad match, the lowest amount of control, but the most impressions. So it's great for branding. It's great for finding other queries that may not be in your account somewhere, and go ahead and add those as keywords as well. So match types determine how closely related. The keyword, your keyword must be the query in order for your ad to be displayed. Now there's times you don't want an ad displayed. So this is what negative keywords are good for. Negative keywords stop ads from showing. Now, negatives are a little different from exact and phrase match words, is they do not ever match to various endings, singulars, plurals, misspellings, stemmings, so forth. So the advantage of adding negative keywords is it removes unwanted impressions. You can keep your ad from showing. So it blocks your ad from showing from unrelated queries to your business. So for instance, maybe you only sell plasma TVs, but you want to show for any query related to plasma TV. So you're thinking broad match could be useful to try some of. But you have no LED televisions in your entire inventory. But you know with broad match, the word plasma and LED could possibly show. So you could add the word LED as a negative keyword, and whenever the word LED showed in the query, your ad would not show. So the con of this, of using negatives, is you do lose impressions. So you got to be careful to only add negatives that you really don't want to show for. So let's walk through an example. So let's say that you've got the broad match keyword plasma TV. And in that ad group, your negative keywords are 42 and LED. So the question is, will your ad show for these queries? So we're like, buy plasma TV. You can show for the query, 42 is not in the query, LED is not in the query. For the second example, TVs, plasmas versus LEDs. Now the word LED is in the query, but it's LEDs plural. Your negative is LED. Negatives do not ever match to singulars, plurals, or stemming options. So your ad would show for something like TVs, plasma versus LEDs because it's not the exact negative you added. Now, if someone searched for plasma versus LED TV under our no column, LED is in the query. It's in your negative keyword list. You would not show. The second example, buy 42-inch plasma TV. 42 is in the query. Your ad would not show for this. Now, if someone typed out buy 42-inch plasma TV, but they typed FORTY, they actually typed out the word, your ad would show because that's not the actual negative keyword. So as you have different match types and negative keywords, you're going to show for a large variety of queries. But you have keywords in your account. So what the search terms report does is show you the queries, what someone typed into a search engine in your account, so you can manage the actual search queries. So the search terms report, it'll show what a user typed in the engine, along with metrics like impressions, clicks. If you're tracking conversions, you can see converted clicks and how much it costs you to get a conversion for every single one of those queries. So then what you'll do is you'll take a look at the search terms. You'll say, these are search terms that aren't keywords in my account, but they're leading to conversions. So we want to make those keywords. You'll have other search terms. They're not in your account, they're not keywords, but they're spending money and they're not leading to actions. Those are good negative keyword candidates. So the search terms report's a great place to do research to determine should you add a query as a keyword. Again, queries what someone typed in the engine, keywords what's in your account. Or is there a query just doesn't ever convert, so you want to make it a negative keyword so you don't show for this any longer. So let's recap our information about match types. So match types determine how closely related the search query and keyword must be before your ad can be displayed. So exact match keywords only trigger an ad to show when the query is the same as your keyword. Phrase match causes your ad to be displayed when the query is contained within your keyword. But there can be words before or after or both of your keyword. However, if the query is not in the exact same order as your keyword, your ad won't be displayed. Remember, both exact and phrase match words can show for misspelling, singulars, plurals, and different endings. The word orders are very important. Exact and phrase match never show for completely different words though. Broad match words can show an ad when the query is related to your keyword. So with broad match, the word orderings no longer matter. Google looks to see, are all the words in your query or some related terms of those queries in your keyword? If yes, then you can show. Now, negative keywords, they stop your ad from showing, but negatives never match the singulars, plurals, and different stemming options. But if a negative keyword is anywhere in the search query, then your ad won't show. So the search terms report shows you the actual search query data. So then the search terms report is a great place to look at to find words that aren't converting to make them negatives, or to find words that are converting that aren't in your account and make them keywords. So in the end, match types determine how closely related your keyword can be to the query for your ad to show. Negatives stop your ad from showing. The search terms report shows you the actual queries, so you can determine if there are new queries you want to make into keywords or make into negative keywords. So this concludes our information about match types.